Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Contiengecy Plan Podcast. My name is Jedi Master David, and with me, as always, is Darth Austin.
Hello, everyone.
Well, welcome, everyone, to our all Jason solo podcast.
Golly gee willikers, Uncle Luke.
It's actually not far from the mark. We are going to talk a little bit about Jason today, but we're actually going to be continuing our reread through Dark Tide 1, Onslaught of the new Jedi Order series of books. You had a week off.
I did.
Well, no, not really.
No, I didn't. I had 2 days off.
Not really. You didn't actually have a week off. Last week was not a great week to connect for podcasts, so I just kind of threw together something to put up, and got together here today, and get back to normal, regularly scheduled programming.
That's right.
Oh, so
what's the thing that they used to have for old school television when there was a broadcast error? That's what we had. Please stand by
Please stand by. Please stand by while they figure out what they're doing. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, last week was a long week. Yes, I'm tired today. It's Monday. We're doing this a little bit in advance because I know you've got some camping going on, and I've also got some camping going on this weekend.
Oh, where are you going?
Archer's Fork.
Cool.
Down south.
Solo?
No, buddy's coming down with me. So
cool.
Yeah, we're gonna get out there and do a little hiking and so forth.
How far is the trail? How long is it?
Oh, how long? Yeah, it's like 10 miles, I think. Something around that range, so it's not crazy long.
Cool.
But yeah, good times all around.
I'll just be glamping.
Yeah. Hey, it's something. It's something different.
Getting away from the city. That's the main thing.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. So let's do a little bit of Hollow Knight. I'm actually gonna kind of catch you up on some of the stuff that I had talked about a little bit yesterday and get your opinion on it.
Alrighty.
Stretch, get the phone. So the first thing I was chatting with myself about, I'm not insane, but I was chatting with myself about was the possibility of a Knights of the Old Republic movie.
Is that why you sent me that little picture with what movie you would want with Revan and everything?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which nobody's responded yet, by the way.
Well, you got to check out Facebook.com.
I think
put in Contiengecy Plan Podcast in search and go like the page.
I think we know what my decision would be. What would yours? I have an idea, but
obviously the story of Yoda.
Of course, young Yoda, the weird Yoda.
No, well, yeah. In that picture, you had. Let's see if I remember it. So there was obviously Yoda, Darth Maul, Vader, Revan,
Obi-Wan Kenobi, Boba Fett,
and Boba Fett. Yeah,
there were 9 total. There was quite a few to choose from.
So I mean, for me, it's Kenobi.
Yeah,
and the thing was that so that picture popped up in Facebook, and then I went to YouTube a little later, and an older video popped up, and it was this fan made trailer type of thing for a Kenobi movie, just titled Kenobi.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
I don't have my notes from last week. It was like Heroes something Productions. I don't remember exactly. I could probably figure it out as I talk, but Heroes Fan Productions. Guys made a lot of really cool videos, or gal, I really don't know. But yeah, the Kenobi one was really cool, and like I said, that's a movie that I think people have been clamoring for a while.
Yeah.
After Solo, then they're talking about like a Boba Fett movie. It's like, who cares about a Boba Fett movie? I don't care.
To me, with the tie-in from Solo, it would kind of have to be a Kenobi movie.
Well, I don't know. It would
make more sense, at least.
Yeah, I get that. I think that there's still more to that story that you could tell.
Yeah.
But for me, I was just saying, you could do that as like a TV show, like a multi-episode type of deal, or a movie.
Yeah.
But back to the original question, Knights of the Old Republic. Did you ever play that game?
Not as much as I should have, honestly. I wasn't big into RPGs at that time. Yeah. I think I was probably around, 8 when that came out. Maybe
it was
10.
2003.
Was it 03?
Yeah. 03.
I would have been around, 10-ish.
Yep. And I mean, basically, the story is essentially the story of Revan after he had came back after essentially, which we learn in the Revan.
Wraith Revan.
Well, we learn in the book Revan that he was turned by the Sith Emperor, and then he became a Darth Revan, and his apprentice or his Padawan. Now stylized as Malik, essentially, betrayed him, tried to take over the whole thing like Sith do, and anyway, the whole thing about Knights of the Old Republic is you're Revan. You don't know that until later, but you're Revan, and you get your memories back, and you start to realize stuff, and blah blah blah. So. When I thought about this and when I was postulating, I thought it would be better. I don't know if it would be. I don't think it would be a live action. My thought process was going towards animation.
Really?
And my only rationale is that, you're catering Star Wars to an entirely different audience. And a lot of the new young audience, I mean, do they know who Revan is? I mean, do they know do they know any of the stories of the Old Republic?
I've been recently talking to younger people about Star Wars. I ran into, I want to say he was probably about 18, just graduating, and he knew Revan pretty well, but he was more on the nerd spectrum. The casual Star Wars fan, I don't think, is going to know Revan, Knights of the Old Republic. He's not going to know the Old Republic at all.
So I don't know. I think you could get away if you really want to do it. I think you could definitely get away with an animated on Disney Plus.
Now, would you want to see an animation style like Clone Wars, or would you want something different? I
don't mind Clone Wars' animation, I guess. I mean, I think that people wouldn't care for it all that much. I think that there are people out there who would wish for an updated animation style. Maybe more in the vein of like actual anime.
Yeah, that's what I would lean towards. But I am an anime fan, so to me that'd be perfect. So
I don't get it.
I would want something very serious when it comes to Revan too.
I
definitely wouldn't want anything childish.
Well, if they base it off the game, though, I mean, it is pretty serious.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know. I mean, the writer, again, I don't have my old notes from the other day. But the writer had been, she's been like going through some Netflix series. She did like Altered Carbon and that Battle Angel thing, something Battle Angel.
Okay.
And apparently she's kind of like close to writing or finishing like something in the writing. It's just in the writing phase, I guess. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's adaptable. I mean, we've seen games go into movies, but the problem is that some of them suck.
Most of them
like
suck.
Doom.
Blade was the only exception.
Blade was more
of a Marvel than the game.
But
I think the game came out before.
Resident Evil wasn't bad. The first one.
Yeah. Mario.
I actually liked that movie for
what it was.
Well, for what it was and for the time.
Mortal Kombat.
Goofy. I liked Mortal Kombat though too. I was trying to think of another
more that we used to.
I was trying to think of the other one that I made an example of that I didn't. That was kind of hokey. Oh, Final Fantasy. You remember when they came out with the Final Fantasy movie?
I don't think I watched that movie actually.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot out there. So anyway, would it be cool to have a Knights of the Old Republic movie?
Heck yeah. I would love to see that happen.
I think right now, with the stock of what's in Disney Plus coming up in November, I think a lot of this stuff would be good to like release or talk about during next year's celebration.
What I'd be more excited about than the movie, though, is potentially a remake of the game.
Yeah, that's an idea.
That's borderline old enough where it would be painful to go back and play. Probably.
I kind of thought about that too. I mean, it was a really good RPG, but I mean,
RPGs back then compared to now, and pacing and everything.
Well, there's a game out right now with Norman Reedus, and it literally looks like Norman Reedus.
Death Stranding, I believe.
Yeah, it's a funky game. It's a bunch of babies and
never really. That was the Metal Gear Solid guy, and he basically got fired and went off and made his own game. And
the developers,
and ironically enough, I was just thinking the main villain from that, which I forget his name, but he is an actor, British actor. Would actually make a very good Revan, an older Revan.
Yeah, I know who you're talking. I think we've talked about this before because he played Casino Royale and a few other. Yeah, he was Jyn Erso's father in Rogue One.
Completely blanking on the name, but I do think which obviously because of that they probably couldn't use him, but he would be a good Revan.
I mean, why not? I mean, who cares? Do whatever.
Jyn Revan. Ursa Revan.
Yeah, I don't know. But I understand from your standpoint. So, but then it kind of trickles into the next question. So, out of that picture, what then would be the movie you'd want to see? Master and Apprentice movie. The movie.
Are we talking just Revan or any options that we had from the Facebook, or just in general?
Just the picture that I sent you, the different characters out of all those.
Dooku.
Yeah.
No. Obviously, Revan's gonna be my first choice, but I think we're gonna get something else with Maul that isn't gonna be a movie. So I wouldn't pick that.
Here's my
Kenobi
thing
as well.
Revan could be its own cartoon series.
It could.
I mean, they could do it like Clone Wars and explain from a Jedi to a Sith back to a Jedi to his end.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do a multi-season show out of that.
You really could. And although honestly, another thing I'd kind of like to explore more with Star Wars now that we're getting away from this timeline, these characters, I'd like to explore the Sith more in movies or TV shows. I'd like to see the origin, all the different lords.
And that's the thing about doing Revan, though, is that, I mean, he goes to Sith homeworld. They're a species. Mm-hmm. It has nothing to do with, like, what the Sith would be considered now.
Right.
They were a species of beings. Yep. I mean, we are the Sith. This is who we are. We're not just, taking it as a moniker. So, I think it would be interesting. But again, you could explore that entire thing by just doing an Old Republic show.
You could.
Because there's a lot to unpack there. I don't think it would.
You'd also have the Mandalorian wars with that as well.
Well, Revan obviously had some part in the war with the Mandalorians of that time period.
Yeah, obviously not tying into the Mandalorian that we're about to see.
Because the Mandalorian now is not in that time frame, but
thousands of years apart.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm still with Kenobi. Like I said, I mean. Going through the picture, I don't really
review it real quick for those that haven't seen it.
I don't really care about a Maul movie. I think I deleted the picture from my phone.
I hate to say it, I wouldn't even be all that interested in a Vader movie. I feel
well, what do you do? Like, what do you go over? His story's been told.
It really has. I mean all you could go over is all the terrible things that he's done.
Well, here's what I was thinking, because they had that Vader comic from like 2007 on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we only have 6 options. I thought there were 9.
No, 6.
Okay.
Well, the thing is like, so that comic was centered around directly after he gets the armor, and it would be interesting to see the story as to how he just descended completely down. Because, I mean, he's obviously down, but, like, you know, Palpatine sends him on a mission to get a kyber crystal from a cool Jedi who's just been, you know, meditating.
Mm-hmm.
And their battle, and then his battle with the kyber crystal, which produces one of the coolest series of panels I've seen in comic books, where you know the crystal shows him an alternate reality of where, and he doesn't really know it at the time. He's like he's thinking he's living. You think he's like living it there. Obviously, we know it wasn't what came to pass, but and basically comes back to the Emperor. His blade is not red. And he kills the Emperor, and then he goes back to like Obi-Wan. He finds him out, and he's like, "Yeah, Master." And you know, then there's that whole sort of thought process. But I think you could do a lot with the comic series if you just wanted to expound upon that. But
you could also go into a bit of his reuniting with Ahsoka, which has been covered though.
Yeah, so but that's the thing. It's been covered, so I'm not really.
And it's getting harder to do something new with the timeline of the Skywalkers. I mean,
right.
It's all been covered in one way or another, so you're just backtracking.
Right. So then
your 6 options, we have Fett, which I couldn't care less.
Yeah, I don't care.
Fett's story has been told. Jango's story has been told. Move on.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yoda, I'm enjoying Yoda as a character less and less as I move on.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, like young Yoda.
That's an interesting thing to delve into.
It could be something that would be interesting, but could you stand to listen to a movie in his talk the entire time?
Yeah, that's the thing. When you see Yoda, his screen time is usually only around like 15, 20 minutes a movie, and that's about all you can do.
It's not as much, but like his vocal pattern the entire time, I think would get on people's nerves.
It would. And the only thing I would really be all that interested in is when he almost turns to the dark side when he's going through that phase of his life. And there's a few little things. But
sure.
There's just not that much that's interesting. Maybe when he had to kill I'm drawing a blank on the name of the homeworld, but there was a king or emperor of some homeworld they was very close with, but they decided to side with separatists, and he ended up having to kill him and all this. But so Yoda, Maul. Yeah, Maul's cool, but again, Clone Wars and Rebels.
He had his moment, and I'm good.
Vader, we've already talked about that. So really, that leaves Revan and Kenobi.
Yep.
For me, it's an easy choice.
What about an Ahsoka movie? All Ahsoka, all the time.
I mean, delving a little bit further. I mean, maybe if they expand upon her after Rebels a little bit more, but there's not much to go through.
Yeah, it's been covered. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think there's stuff for Kenobi. How many years was he on Tatooine after he drops off Luke? You think he just stayed in the desert and just hermited that whole time? Come on.
No, I think he went back to that bar and did all the drugs,
all the death sticks. No, I'm just talking about, like, it'd be cool if, like, we could concoct like one big Obi-Wan mission.
Yeah. Maybe I don't know, go back to his love interest, whose name
Satine's dead.
Satine. Well, you could go back to that stage of his life, though, in the movie.
Well, but that'd be before, because she died.
But I don't think many people would care about that stage. They all just want to know what happened on Tatooine.
But the thing is, she died in Clone Wars, though. Right. Or are you talking about, like, when they first met?
When they first meet as Padawan, when he was 17 or 18, would be very interesting.
Yeah, that would be
because that's a year.
Well, he was. I even said in Clone Wars that he was. If she would have said something, he would have left the Jedi Order for her. Yeah, Satine. But yeah, she's dead.
Another thing with Vader, I guess, if you went back to Anakin's story at all with that, which you probably wouldn't, but there was a point where he was planning on leaving the Jedi Order, and a mission swayed him to stay. I forget what it was, but
I'm good. I'm good on it.
We just need an all-rail Avaros movie. Although, honestly, going through Master and Apprentice, there are bits of him. He's more likable as a character, although the voice acting is more annoying.
He's not a bad character. It's the voice acting.
And God, Mace Windu was weird. You're right.
I told you. Once you finally got to him, I told you.
And I knew this.
Weird.
They didn't. I don't think they even referenced that's Mace for a solid 3 lines of dialogue, and I knew right away who it was.
I'm Cowboy Mace Windu. Yeah, it was weird.
He's like Mace Windu if he was in that music video, that country song with Billy Ray Cyrus. It's really popular right now.
I think I tried to listen to it, and it was stupid.
You tried, but you couldn't.
No, it was like I popped on to whatever, just iTunes, catch a clip of it to see if it was catchy.
But you couldn't wait till the actual Billy Ray Cyrus part.
No, it sucked. It was a crappy song.
It really did. The music video is kind of funny, just how stupid it is.
Yeah, but this isn't like 1980, 1990 when we were watching music videos on MTV.
Exactly. You really have to like something to listen to the music video or watch it anymore.
I thought it was garbage. I know people like it. I thought it was garbage.
And we just lost our entire audience.
Well, let me start talking about what I think about Cardi B. Then we'll lose the rest of them.
Nope, we'll get them back.
We might, yeah.
But no, I really would like to see a Dooku movie if we could pick something outside of that list.
Well, I think we're kind of on a Dooku high, though, with
we are.
With Dooku Jedi Lost, and then some of the Master Apprentice tie-ins. So, but yeah, okay. So last thing that I kind of discussed, with myself.
Did
Galaxy's
you use both
Edge?
Mics?
No, that would have been weird. Galaxy's Edge opened, and they had they had Mark Hamill, George Lucas, Billy D. Williams, and Harrison Ford.
All the crew back together.
Harrison Ford, I feel like, doesn't do anything like Star Wars much.
He never really wanted to, so it doesn't surprise me.
But he's kind of been going through the circuits, and one of the biggest things with him right now is he standfast said that nobody else but him should play Indiana Jones.
Really?
And that there's a possibility of a fifth Indiana Jones. I think we're on 5th.
Is it going to have
I think
what's his name is the new Indy?
Shia LaBeouf. No, see, the thing is I think he wants to kill him. and people might not have liked Han Solo dying in Force Awakens, but I'm pretty sure that behind the scenes, Harrison Ford was like, yeah, it's time. And I think it's the same thing. I think he wants
now he can enjoy Star Wars because he's dead.
Well, I think he wants to kill off Indy because he doesn't want people to play these roles. He wants to be the only one doing them, and I agree. I don't need Shia LaBeouf would be a crappy Indiana Jones.
He really would. But you could see it happening, though, couldn't you?
Well, I could see anything happening. They made Robert Pattinson Batman.
Yeah, that's gonna be amazing.
You got to see it first, because Ben Affleck wasn't. He sucked.
He did.
Ben Affleck wasn't a good Batman. Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about, but I mean, he's a good director, and I've seen some movies where he hasn't been bad in, but
he's probably one of my least. I won't say least favorite, but I get.
Sorry, that's kind of a little.
I don't get excited when anyone talks about him. Like, no,
it's Ben Affleck. Thing. It's cool. Matt Damon around, but yeah, no, I mean, anything can happen nowadays. Anybody can replace anybody, but. Yeah.
Do we really need a movie just to kill Indy, though? Do we need that?
Yes, because he wants it over with. I think he probably bankroll the thing himself, shoot it in his basement or whatever. But
the final adventure is just in his basement. Yeah. He's trying to get in the fridge, and he just falls over and breaks his back.
That lead-lined fridge saved him from a nuclear attack and kills him. That's poetic justice.
I just like to imagine that there were only 3, and we just ended there.
Crystal Skull wasn't horrible. The issue was that it also wasn't very good. Yeah. And they got away from the kind of like old school, like 1940s campy style of the old movies and started to try and go into modern, like 50s modern. Because that's the era that it was.
Well, yeah, but the acting was
I don't know. It wasn't horrible, but it's far from my favorite. But anyway, back to Galaxy's Edge. So Galaxy's Edge opened up. $1 billion park. They don't have everything open. There's like 2 rides that's not open.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 2 rides are open.
No, that aren't open. The Falcon's obviously open. That's the big thing everybody wants to go for, and they have like time restrictions on everything, and I just kind of think to myself, it's like, listen, you have this thing, and you know people want to go to it. Can you just get it all open before you?
They have the money and resources. They have the manpower.
Well, amusement parks aren't like what they used to be. They're obviously people still go, but there was a golden age for amusement parks, and I think we've passed that. Now people are, well, we used to go to Disney and everything. I know you do, but I'm talking about a time where, you know, like there were random amusement parks in random places, not just the big ones. Yeah, they're gone. And these bigger amusement parks are cool, but they've got to be really cool for people to want to spend the exorbitant amount of money.
Well, do you remember how big it was when we were growing up? I mean, that was the thing to do. Yeah. Family vacation, just weekend getaway. I mean, you remember the IX?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it was way more popular. Now, no one talks about going to an amusement park. And the only thing people talk about with Disney is how expensive it is to go to Disney.
Yeah, I mean, people go, you know, they still talk about like going to Cedar Point or whatever. Yeah. I'm not big into amusement park rides. I don't think they're fun.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it is for children more than our age.
Well, I mean, not Cedar Point. I mean, some of those rides I wouldn't put a child on. But anyway, I'm just saying I just don't find them to be entertaining. So I don't go. Yeah. But. This park though is not it's not built around just like thrill rides. It's built around an experience. So I had been looking at some media, and obviously when I was at Celebration, I watched the panel on it, which everybody made fun of because Coca-Cola, it's all Coke, you got a Coke shirt and stupid bottles. Like, listen, man, if you can sell out a little bit and get some of your money back from a big sponsor like Coke, and all they're going to do is put like those bottles. I didn't think about it at the time. Those are what they put out at Christmas. The little round bottles.
Oh, the little
they're just using
tree
that,
ornament bottles.
They're saying they're using that bottle now for they kind of looks like a thermal detonator, you know.
Nice.
That's great ad placement. It's great ad placement. Yeah. Why would you get angry about it? But I have heard some people that got really pissy about it. It's like, listen, it's great ad placement. They're going to make money at the parks from it. Coke's going to be out there doing their thing, and Coke's better than Pepsi, and fight me about it. But it's just it's good advertising. Yeah. And people are going to go to this thing. It's going to be busy for a while.
And does it really ruin the experience for you, or are you just nitpicking?
No, listen, what's going to ruin the experience is you go get a Yub Nub freaking drink in the bar in a commemorative cup, and it costs you $42. That's a legitimate price, by the way. That's on the menu.
That doesn't surprise me.
Well, I told the story. It's like when I was at Celebration, and we got lunch the first day in the cafeteria. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you get your $20 burger, your $15 fry. Not really, but still, it was pretty expensive. It was like $20 for the entire thing.
It's going to be more than Five Guys, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I just get a drink, and she's like, sure you don't want a commemorative cup? And I was like, no, I don't want a commemorative cup. But, you know, it's only like $24. It's like, I don't.
For the cup?
Yeah. But you can get it filled. You can just fill it up whenever you want. It's like, but I don't. No, I don't want it. But
you'd have
I
to
also
fill it 30 times to get your money's worth.
Well, I also, more than that, probably. I carried my pack, and I put drinks and snacks in there, so I didn't care. I ate a few hot dogs, the $7 hot dogs. It was the cheapest thing you could buy on the show floor.
It's probably not that far from going to a baseball stadium.
Well, and that's the thing. So anyway, one of the biggest things and one of the coolest things and one of the things that I would love to do, build your own lightsaber. Mm-hmm. Okay? And have you looked into this at all?
The
build
Disney,
your own lightsaber at the park?
Disney's doing that. Okay.
Okay, so you haven't. Good.
No, I haven't.
Okay. So you there are like two places you can go. There's like a traveling, deal or whatever, and then there's the main experience. So I took some screenshots of a couple of these. So assemble your lightsaber. Meet one of Savvy's gatherers outside his workshop, where you'll choose one of 4 available hilt themes and receive a. I want you to try and pronounce that because I couldn't. The something pin starts with a C. Can you get it? You don't know either, do you?
Cloisonne.
That's probably better than what I did.
No, you have to tell me now what you think it is.
I don't know. I'm done.
Cloisonne.
I don't know. But you get a pin to identify your selection. So there are 4 hilt themes. So the first one, peace and justice. I know you guys had already listened to this on the last podcast. This is Darth Austin's reaction. Peace and justice. Salvage scraps from fallen Jedi temples and crashed starships in these Republic-era designs honor the galaxy's former guardians. The next one, power and control. Originally forged by dark side warriors, this style features rumored remnants from the Sith homeworld and abandoned temples. Ooh. Next one, elemental nature. I thought this was cool. I wouldn't pick it, but I thought it was neat. And people will pick this. The theme embodies the Force, an energy created by all living things, like Braylark trees, Cartesian whale bones, and Rancor teeth. Could you just like a Rancor teeth hilt, like a sort of like an ivory hilt type of deal? That would be cool.
I could almost pick that. That's
get one of those like the old sailors. They used to carve stuff into whalebone.
Yeah.
Have all those intricate little designs. That'd be neat.
Pretty sweet.
The last one, protection and defense. Hilt material bears mysterious motifs and inscriptions that reconnect users with the ancient wellspring of the Force.
Ooh.
So which of those 4 would you choose? I'm choosing peace and justice. I mean, salvage scraps from fallen Jedi temples and crashed starships. I'm down. That sounds cool.
Sith homeworld, though. Oh,
and and you know what? I called that. I said, I bet he would pick power and control because that sounds awesome too, though. So, okay, so you have your themes, and then you take you have your selection, you give them to the gatherers, and then next you pick your kyber crystal, which is available in red, blue, green, or violet. So only 4 colors: red, blue, green, or violet. What would your saber color be?
I could do a blue one with power and control.
Yeah, mine's always green.
Yeah.
Always green. Okay, let's go to the next picture here. Next,
I wish they'd do the black blade, though.
Well,
that'd be pretty cool.
You could, black, white, yellow. I don't know. You could do a bunch.
I'm not a fan of the yellow blade.
I'm not either, but... So next, begin assembling your hilt. Parts will be provided based on your theme and pin. Each box of parts includes 1 hilt, 4 sleeves, you pick 2, 2 emitters, you pick 1, 2 pummel caps, you pick 1, 2 sets of activation plates and switches, you pick 1 set. So I imagine that's sound effects and whatever. Upon hilt completion, the unused parts will be collected gatherers. They give those back. Finally, and this is actually kind of a bummer for me. So the gatherers are the ones that are actually going to
you don't get
put
to
together
assemble
the blade.
Your own.
Yep, and they connect the hilt to a 31-inch lightsaber blade. So you're ready for anything Galaxy.
And it's fixed. It's not a fold-in piece of junk, right?
No.
Okay,
No.
Good.
These are closer to what I've been looking at.
Like a $300 or $400 lightsaber.
Yeah. So and people were freaking out about this, but here's the price: $199.99.
Are you kidding me?
$199.99.
That's it.
$199.99.
I know.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
But I've seen a lot of folks. Oh, it's so expensive. I was like, listen,
it's
you have
not.
it. That's the price of an FX blade.
Yeah.
Which isn't that well. It's like $150 for an FX, but
We spent $50 on the child's plastic create your own lightsaber kit.
Lightsaber. Yeah, well, see, the thing is like, people are worried about like kids wanting to go and do that. Little kids, it's like, well, I could buy my kid a $7 lightsaber online, but listen, you go to these places for an experience, and that would be the coolest thing in the world. That's like going to Harry Potter World and getting chosen to do the wand ceremony thing. Which doesn't cost that much, but anyway. So.
I would pay that in a heartbeat.
I would be down.
Even
down.
That's amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
If at that price, I might just buy 2.
Well, that's the thing.
That'd be kind of cool if you had them. Just think if you had Power and Control and Peace and Justice, was it?
Yeah.
Have those crossed in a glass display box.
Yep,
That'd
I'd be down.
pretty cool.
Down. All right, so that's a little bit about Galaxy.
It's metal, correct?
Yeah,
I'm
I mean
assuming.
apparently that's it's supposed to
High
be
quality,
the legit stuff.
Cool.
So yeah, I kind of wanted to run through that a bit with you. I figured you'd kind of be interested in hearing a bit about the sabers.
We are going to see so many of those on eBay for the lazy people who don't want to
guarantee it.
Go to Disney World to do that.
Well, again, here's the thing. I've been looking at like physically putting together a saber for a while, and I had it all mapped out. I had this. The hilt was this kind of really cool. It was leather wrapped, so it was a little skinny, but it was leather wrapped. And then I had Qui-Gon Jinn's emitter at the top from his blade in Phantom Menace, and then Obi-Wan's pommel from Phantom Menace.
The one that kind of has the crown around it. Yeah,
and when I put it together online, because I don't remember who it was, but when I put it together online, it looked cool. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. And with all the electronics and everything, it was like $400. Like, oh my God, I'm dying.
How do you think the sound effects are going to be on a $200 lightsaber, though?
Well,
not that that's the most important thing, obviously, but still.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, most of the like complicated kits are going to give you a lot of different stuff. So I imagine you'll get an extend, putting it away, and then maybe you'll get but maybe you won't get the clash sound. Maybe you will get the clash sounds. I don't know.
Here's another question. Do you think that the blade portion is threaded in so you can actually take it off?
I would assume so.
There are
yes.
situations that would really be nice.
For
cosplaying, that would be really cool.
I feel like that would be the case. Yeah. It didn't specifically say that, but I feel like that's the case. It should just be able to twist off.
Yeah, because, I mean, if I'm going to cosplay as a Jedi, I'm probably not going to have it, honestly, depending on where I'm at.
A lot of people do, but honestly, like if you're just in for a chill, you just keep it on your belt.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, sounds neat to me. I
also, they better sell the blade for like $10 because a lot of people are going to break them having battles. Their kids get a hold of them like, hey, it's a little lightsaber. No.
Well, you can get battle quality blades. Yeah. I mean, there is such a thing as competitive lightsaber dueling. So, all right, let's pop out of that and let's start getting into a little bit of a reread here.
Big reread.
Yeah. And like we said, we're going to be powering through more chapters. We're not just going to do chapter by chapter reread, and some of it might be kind of summary style. Again,
a little awkward at first. Bear with us.
And if Darth Austin would have sped read through like 40 more chapters, we've been fine. But we've got a little bit to go. But the gist is again, I kind of wanted to get to the point where we could do part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and then recap. But honestly, we're gonna have to talk offline about that because we're gonna have to like do some different stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway. We are starting off on chapter 18, and we are going to go through 5 chapters today.
It's just my favorite chapter. Isn't it yours?
Well, and the thing is this actually is a helpful thing because like some of these chapters we can kind of fly through, and I made notes. I'm not necessarily going to do like reading like we used to, just to sort of save us a little bit of time. But I mean, if you guys want me to stumble through words and mispronounce things and you want this to be a 2-hour podcast, I mean, we can read. I don't care.
I feel like my notes should, not that I take notes, but my notes should just literally be every word I don't think you can pronounce.
Yeah, there you go.
And just have them saved. And
it's good.
Yes.
Anyway, chapter 18, we actually start back on Belkanon with Jason.
And just Jason.
Well, essentially just Jason. So, in this chapter... Jason is having some visions, man.
Yeah, he's some force visions.
He's going a little bit rogue.
He's going Sifo.
Well, no,
he's not as cool.
I was about to say.
Maybe he goes insane like Sifo. That part would be okay.
He won't. But anyway, so they've been there a week. They've been on the planet for a week doing some scouting. Jason's staying in Danny's room.
Picked out some stuff to bring back.
He's been
really
rifling through her panty drawer, and
I bet she'll want these panties back. I'm gonna bring them back to her. Maybe she'll love me forever. I hope.
oh no!
Is that what you thought of when you read that?
Danny, I slept in your bed.
You reminded me of your scent.
Yeah, your scent was still on the pillow. I found your perfume, and that's getting really, really creepy. But I just thought it was kind of weird. Like, of all the rooms in here, he's like, oh, I'm going to stay in Danny's room. But yeah, he does. He has some little knickknacks he's going to bring back to her. So, oh, my hero, Jason, you're so cool.
Can I just say the only good thing about this chapter is what happens 4 chapters later because of this chapter? That's the only good thing.
Gross chapter, by the way, but yeah, we'll get to that. Okay, so essentially, Jason here, again, he's having his visions, and he's kind of seeing himself freeing the slaves. Mm-hmm. And as we had previously read, the Yuuzhan Vong here have some slaves, and they're
coral on them.
Coral slaves. So Jason decides he's going to do something about it.
I'm going to just do it.
And Luke's just basically here
sleeping. He's sleeping through it.
Well, I wrote it down.
No, he's doing what he was doing when Mara was having the fight with old, what's his name, back the first time.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just rifling through things.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is, like, some of the people in the order had been making fun of Luke a little bit, saying he's old and he needs his Force naps. But, I mean, he's communing with the Force. Meditation is common. So, anyway, Jason's going out. He wants to free the slaves. And I kind of started thinking about the way he was talking. It's like, just sounds a lot like old Anakin, old Vader.
Also, did you kind of just cringe?
Gonna come back and free all the slaves.
Yeah. I killed them all.
Dude. Well.
Did you kind of cringe a little when he's like, I hope my road to getting that in tune with the Force isn't as difficult as Uncle Luke's? It's like, then you don't understand the concept of it. You just want to skip to the best part. You're lazy.
Well, I'm just getting through. So anyway, so Jason goes out to free the slaves, and he's starting to get the deja vu going. Yeah. He's like, my vision's coming true.
And I laughed my butt off when I read this part.
Well, there was a whole thing about, like, he's trying to, like, get one of the slaves to come to him. It's like, come to me, I'm your savior.
Opens his arms like, come to me, my people.
Yeah, I know. What
He's got his hood on, like.
What an ego. Well, the slaves run away.
Yeah, they're just scared crapless of him.
Well, the thing is the Vong have a pretty deep connection with these guys now. And so he gets to fight a Yuuzhan Vong.
How's that go?
Well, he kills some Villips, which I thought was funny because he likes
lazily does an infinity arc.
It's like, you know what? Yeah, that's right. He said like an infinity arc. Did you notice that these chapters started to get much more descriptive?
Yeah, they have.
Yeah,
which is good. They needed to be descriptive on certain things.
Well, he took a couple chapters off. Now he's back on. So yeah, the infinity arc, just slicing Villips, and then he's like, oh! I can just
anime.
No, I'm just thinking about like Patrick. Just like, oh! I can't remember what the episode I'm thinking of, but just SpongeBob screwing with him or something. Oh! So anyway, get a little bit more of the Amphistaff, which is always fun, and
one of the coolest weapons in Star Wars, by the way.
And he's surprised that he can't cut through it,
even though this is all common knowledge from Mara. So,
And here's the thing: I mean, like, he was trying to like push him away. It's like he realized he can't find him in the Force, and basically he just winds up almost drowning.
Yeah, it's like we're back to book 1, Revelations of the New Thread,
right?
That we've been dealing with for a book and a half now. It's just
exactly,
stupid. It's lazy.
And the thing is like he's not learning. He's not learning from everybody around him. He's trying to do his own thing, which is great, but you're just not wise enough to do it.
You just kind of suck still at everything.
Yeah. So anyway, he's defeated.
Yeah.
He's defeated.
He's humiliated.
Oh,
And
in this case, yeah, he's absolutely humiliated. The Yuuzhan Vong he fought in the ice planet didn't have their amphistaffs.
Yeah.
Now you have a full-fledged Yuuzhan Vong warrior with his weapon, and you lose.
And Jason's not a terrible combatant.
No,
he's
he's not.
actually well trained.
He's not. But anyway, he loses. That's the end of the chapter. Chapter 19. Literally, I have 2 lines of notes for this chapter.
I bet I can guess what they.
Well, you can do this all. You can expound if you want, but basically, so Anakin relies less on the Force, and then he gets to trade with the Dentari.
Yeah, that about sums it up. And Mara's kind of stupid for laughing out loud while in reconnaissance mode.
Well, Mara's just messing with him, you know. Yeah. So there's these
This is a comical episode chapter.
Yeah,
it was playful.
These Dantari are kind of a little aggressive at first, and like he's trying to be friends with him. What is he? Oh, buttons. He gives them buttons.
Yeah, Imperial buttons.
And then the Dantari bring him back roots.
Yeah, which are very valuable throughout.
Well, the interesting thing about that is, so he gets a ton of roots, and then he has the Dantari go get firewood, and then he gives him roots back in payment.
And then the women are just like hiding the roots. Yeah. Like, oh no, he's giving away all our roots.
This is a stupid trade, you dummy. Don't give him more roots. Don't worry about it. All he wants is firewood. I'm getting the roots back. It's great.
By the way, the whole tattoo thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, Annie. A Jedi found me. Maybe I do have tattoos.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird.
I wouldn't want a tattoo, which clearly means he wants a tattoo.
All right.
It's like,
I don't want a tattoo, Mom. Tattoos are gross. Don't take my... No, don't look at my back. Don't look at my back.
Do you have a tattoo? Well, maybe. Which obviously means yes. I mean, come on. Yeah. So, I don't know.
Awkward conversation between them.
Well, it's good, though, because obviously Jaina has been Mara's project. Yeah. So it's kind of cool to get her interaction with another family member, right?
Yeah.
Right?
No matter how awkward it is.
So that was chapter 19, by the way.
I think Mara would just sucker punch Jason, so it's a better relationship, all in all.
Yeah, Mara doesn't take any crap. That's why she's one of my favorite characters.
She is. We need a Mara movie. I would be down
We need
for it.
Mara in canon, but the issue is that'd be really hard to do
happen,
that now.
Really.
Oh, it can happen. That can be Ray's mom, and there can be a scene about it.
You remember that rumor?
Yeah, I mean, I think. Well, this is getting into an entirely different conversation we don't really need to have right now. But I always wanted, the Luke arc to follow more of the non-canon legend stuff, because it showed he was doing the Jedi way a different way. Mm-hmm. I love the fact that he had a wife. I love the fact that he had a kid. Eventually. Oops. Did I spoil that?
Do any of you not know this series at all?
Oh, this 20-year-old series. How could I?
Do you really think we have a lot of new readers in this?
I really didn't mean to say that, but it's out there, and I'm not editing it out. Anyway, let's get into chapter 20, which was easily the most exciting chapter of the 5 chapters.
Yep, because Rogue.
Gavin Darklighter, did we read anywhere that he was Biggs' cousin?
No, I don't think so.
See, I don't remember that.
That was
and then it was
a
just
big
like
revelation for me.
Oh, guess what? Yeah, he's Biggs' cousin. It's like, what? Biggs? So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was very cool.
He even referenced Biggs.
Yeah.
He didn't mention that before. It's like, did he just come up with this in this chapter? Like,
exactly.
Did the writer just come up with this bit of information?
Oh, by the way, he's Biggs' cousin. Have fun with that, guys. Yeah. It's like next he's going to say is Wedge Antilles' brother. I don't know. So anyway, a little table setting here. Convoy is in, basically trying to get everybody off Denbrillion. Mm-hmm. There's a lot in this where, they're splitting up families and lovers and children and all this stuff, but they have to try and get them off. Limited ships, limited resources, limited time. Then we have a little part with Leia talking with
Mama Bear gets angry.
Yeah, there's a little bit of irony here, and we'll talk about it. But Jaina was not a part of any sort of piloting squad because they needed pilots as essentially convoy duty, keeping
And she was
potential
not,
Yuuzhan Vong off the.
She was not on the list.
Right. And she's basically like, well, listen, she's a talented pilot. She's a Jedi. Well, she's too young.
Weren't you the same age?
Don't you throw that back in my face, Leia. Don't do it. So.
I had a crush on you.
Oh, God. Well, the thing is that, he's actually trying to protect her. He's like, your daughter.
Die. I don't want her to die.
Your daughter dies. Like your daughter dies. I can't be responsible for that.
Especially
crap.
if I live.
I mean, Han Solo and Leia, and then her flippin' uncle's Luke Skywalker.
Probably just all hunt me down and murder me.
Yeah, I can't let her die, which it wouldn't be his problem anyway. And Leia basically coerced him and said, listen, she has to be up there, okay? Regardless of her age,
we are.
She's a Jedi. She's a talented pilot. She deserves to be there. So what happens?
And I kind of like the comment they make. Well, she's strong in the Force. She can sense all your people. I'm like, well, we do have, pilots with the same, background. From the same homeworld as her.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how the Force works. But
It's not. Yeah, he said, well, we've got someone from Alderaan and some from Corellia. Yeah. It's like, well, you do realize she's not from either of those planets, correct? She just happens to have a mother who actually also wasn't from Alderaan, but she grew up there. We'll give her that. But she's not Alderaanian, even though she's a princess.
She's Spaceportian because that's when she's
Spaceportian. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, when you think about her parentage, Tatooine and Naboo, which there's a well, we'll get to it. There's a comic that I need to tell you about that has a couple panels where Leia goes to Naboo. It was one of the lead ups to Force Awakens, and I, for some reason, completely spaced on it. We got to take a look at that because that'll be awesome. So anyway, like our caveat there, it's better than a cough break. Cough break. So
Mondays.
I'm so tired. I have a headache and it's killing me. I need to go to bed. So anyway, she joins Rogue Squadron, which was like a huge leap. So no, you're not a pilot. Join Rogue Squadron. It's good.
I'm in a cockpit. And her reaction the first time she gets radioed by Darklighter is kind of comical.
Yeah.
She jumps in her seat.
So
it's like, really? Does she?
Yeah. Well, her call sign is Rogue 11, and her nickname is Styx.
Yeah.
And because our pilots are so imaginative, her nickname is Styx because the X-Wing has a stick, and she has a lightsaber, which is like another stick.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Wow.
And Sparky's her R5.
Yeah. Styx. Okay. I'm sailing away. This is something that I wanted to bring up here. I wrote it down because it's the irony of this. Being asked to join Rogue Squadron was something she earned. So, asked and earned.
Yeah.
So her mother basically pistol whipped Gavin Darklighter for not including her.
Yeah.
And then, he did ask. Did she earn? Yeah.
She earned it by her skill, but she wouldn't have gotten it without Mama.
True enough. Okay, we'll leave that there. Because a giant Yuuzhan Vong warship shows up.
Yeah. And people die, and it's actually pretty gruesome.
Yeah. As big as a Star Destroyer. And again...
Imagine all that coral.
Yeah. Well, again, the imaginativeness of our rogues here. The target, they call it Rock One.
Yeah, Rock One.
We're heading after Rock One, guys. All right. Yeehaw, Rock One.
Did you kind of get... Was it a little trippy for you when you realized that one of Yoda's species is one of the squadron members, too? I thought
I thought that was kind of cool.
I was like, did I read that wrong? Did I read that dialogue wrong? Oh, no,
you didn't. There you go. So they start to engage in battle. The warship is basically surrounded by Dob and Bassels. And
cool.
Yeah, not cool for our guys. But Jaina actually figures out a way to hurt the ship. Mm-hmm. There's like a little tip. You just flick the tip. Anyway, she does wind up destroying one of the Davin Bassels. Big explosion, lot of hull damage, lot of coral damage. Coral in the sky.
Coral meteor shower.
Yeah. But essentially the warship has cut off their original escape plan. So they are going to Dantooine, which is where Aunt Mara and Anakin are. It's all going down on Dantooine because we go into chapter 21.
You think all those Dentari will help them out?
Those Dentari are going to die.
They are going to
Every one of them.
They're going to be seeing the Yuuzhan Vong like, roots? Nope. Okay, I'm dead.
They're going to be coraled to death.
Yes.
Chapter 21. Back with Jason. This is gross.
It is.
Okay, it's flippin' gross.
I thought I read it wrong the first time,
you didn't.
honestly.
I had to reread it too because I was like, well, oh, nope, that's
That
what
happened.
they're doing. So Jason's hanging from a ceiling.
Yeah.
His lightsaber is on a shelf somewhere.
Yeah.
And here comes this spider.
Snow creep. No, never mind.
This spider creature.
Which, by the way, ew.
Yeah. So spider creature goes up, grabs him by the neck, and starts like cutting around his eyeball. Like just cutting
Between
little
the
soft
cheekbone
tissue.
and eye. It's great.
And then put some rocks in there.
Yeah.
Which happen to be like seeds that are going to eat his face.
And explode out his stomach.
Yeah.
Did you think of Alien when,
No, I just thought of rocks scraping against my cheekbone.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was
that's
really
a
not
good
great.
thought. Yeah.
Hey guys, what did you think about it? Cough break.
Which kind of makes you wonder, is that what happened to all those slaves?
Which is,
Because
yes,
they do have quite a few.
which is what
gross.
happened to him.
Yeah.
It's way of their control.
And he's
just in
constant pain.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to get his saber, but because he's in constant pain, he can't concentrate and he can't get his saber. But guess what happens?
Honestly, when I read it the first time, and granted, I just read it and I'm very tired, but
Yeah.
I kind of laughed internally because for a second I was just like, he threw it away.
Yep, he did.
Like I didn't even think about what really happened for just a second.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like he's confused, like, no, other way. Why don't you go the other way?
And here comes Luke with 2 lightsabers, and he takes on 3 warriors and just murders
Pistol whips
them
all of them. He literally pistol whips one with his lightsaber.
Yeah, that's true. He does. He pummels them.
Yeah.
So he takes care of 3.
He knocks out a Yuuzhan Vong with just one tap on the head.
Yeah.
With his lightsaber. Good
Now-
God, Luke is a badass.
Exactly. And Luke basically is just like, he gets him down, and he's like, I'm sorry. And it's like, just
No time for this.
Shut your mouth. No time for this crap. Now, this was something that I did write down here. A quote from Luke, because he really did draw on a lot of the Force here.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, using that much of the Force directly is exhausting. My writing's not real great. And the Jedi may be able to control it, but basically it exacts a price.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? What do you mean, Uncle Luke? End of chapter.
Well, really does make you wonder because you know from Sith lore that all that power really destroys your body.
Yep.
So are the light side users exempt from
That I kind of doubt it.
Nope. They aren't. And guess where they're going next?
Which is why Yoda died. He lifted that X-Wing.
Jeez.
And that's why Luke died. He projected himself.
Yeah, why not? But guess where they're going? Coruscant.
It's all going down in Coruscant and Brilliant at the same time.
No, they're going to Dantooine.
Or Dantooine.
Everybody is going to
To
Dantooine.
Dantooine party.
Except the people in chapter 22. So chapter 22 was relatively short, but we're back with Corran and Ganner and the scientists.
And they have the most amazing idea ever.
Well, this whole chapter is kind of blah. So basically, they examine some beetles.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, these beetles make synthetic stink. Well,
These beetles react to when the Yuuzhan Vong are around.
Yeah. So Corrin has this idea. He's like, well, you know what would be really cool, guys? If you could, like, synthesize some sort of, like, kill synth that just attack the Yuuzhan Vong so all the slash rats would just kill them, man.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
And that's really situational, man, because that's not going to help us anywhere but here.
Basically, he wants to engage in warfare.
And they're just going to ship every slash rat, every single one, to every planet to Yuuzhan Vong.
Why not?
And that's how they'll kill.
Well, the thing is Yuuzhan Vong are already basically trying to transform this planet to grow coral.
Yeah.
But Dr. Pace
It's like,
says,
no,
no, we're not doing that. You're not doing that. We're not
doing any of that.
It's like, listen, they might be destroying this planet, but we are not also going to destroy this planet.
We're just going to watch it be destroyed and be destroyed along with it.
So that was a little bit, but then we figured out that Vil and Dina, well, they went out to, what was it, like some sort of control tower or whatever. So they're probably dead.
Corrin's like, you just let your people leave? Like, are you stupid?
Well, we didn't know there were Vong out there. It's like, come on, guys.
Are you all that stupid, or is this just a setup for the next part of the chapter? I mean,
That's what it is. And so Corrin's like, well, I wonder who's going to go and get them. Yeah. So anyway, that was pretty much it for that chat. There wasn't really much there.
No, it was very boring. Good idea, very boring.
Bioweapon, no. Oh my God, scientists are out there. We have to
set up for another chapter. Oh my God.
Why don't we let slash rats kill everything? Yeah, it'd be good.
We're like, wait, who are these people again? Are they important enough? No, they're not. Okay.
So these were your favorite chapters ever, right?
The middle one. And Luke being a badass. Yeah.
It was cool to see Luke actually get in there and, like, you know, just
show off.
Be the man that we all kind of want him to be. That's for sure.
But then them Dantari.
Best part.
Best part.
Tattoos
and Dantari and roots. Woo.
I want some of them roots.
I am root.
Okay. Well, anyway, folks, God, I hope you guys enjoyed that there. Again, this is kind of how we're going to go. We're just going to start fitting things in, and then we've got some more talking to do and getting everything smoothed out so we can start pounding through this stuff.
More chapters on the next one, hopefully.
Yep. And then the other part is, you know, obviously, like we've said, we want to get into other books, too. I mean, Master and Apprentice, you're almost done with that, right?
About halfway.
About halfway. So that's something we have to get into eventually. And then, you know, there's a bunch of other stuff. We still need to do Revan for you, man. I don't think have you read that all the way, or...
Oh, I have in the past. Okay. I'm rereading all of them, but I don't have the first book. I have the second book.
Gotcha. So yeah, there's a lot we need to get into, but again, hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode and enjoyed the chapters and enjoyed all of our little stuff there. We definitely appreciate you stopping by week to week and you know, listening to the episodes. But again, if you guys have a Star Wars story that you want to share with us, we would love to chat Star Wars with you again. Hit us up on the Facebook. If it's a little bit more long form, tcplanpodcast@gmail.com is our email.
If you have a bad review, YouTube.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. If you're enjoying the podcast, leave us a review. iTunes, Podbean, wherever. Negative comments, go on the YouTube.
That's right.
The tubes of you. I actually got a comment on the YouTube.
Oh, really?
Not too long ago.
Was it bad?
No, it actually wasn't. It was like good content or something. We'll talk.
What was it on?
I don't even remember. We'll talk about it another time. It just popped in my head.
Gotcha.
But yeah. So thank you guys again for stopping by for another episode. We definitely appreciate it. You guys have a great rest of your week.
And as always, may the Force be with you.